If you chase perfection, you're never going to start. And you're never going to build the confidence to start anything. Also, I feel like sometimes we chase perfection because we are looking for admiration, as opposed to living the purpose and living the thing that you want to be. Am I doing it so that people can look at me, or am I doing it because it gives me satisfaction and it makes me happy?
When you say you are starting over at 45, what does that mean?
I decided I'm going to be very unapologetic about being a woman who walks her journey. I don't need to seek approval. I don't need the world to tell me, okay, you're 45, but we've excused you, we've given you permission, you can do it. No, I'm responsible for giving myself permission. We have a lot of resources, a lot. Kenya is a beautiful country, it's endowed. But we Kenyans, we also have this habit where we just let things sit. Other people come and see the opportunity.
Thank you.
And I don't blame those people. Let them come and grab the opportunities, because why are we not grabbing the opportunities? One of the biggest reasons we wanted to start a horse riding school, I wanted a place where Kenyans can come to and they feel they belong. Sometimes when you go to a horse riding stable, you can feel some type of way.
You can feel left out.
You can feel left out.
Yeah.
I wanted a place where everybody, no matter your nationality, I wanted you to just feel welcome.
Sometimes life has a way of making us believe that if we haven't figured it all out at a certain age, then somehow we have fallen behind. That starting over is something reserved for young people. But then you meet someone like Wairimu and you realize that couldn't be further from the truth. When we visited her here in Laikipia, one thing became very clear. She created this space as somewhere she could step away from the noise, the constant rush, and everything that comes with city life. A place where she can slow down, breathe, create, and simply be. And in many ways, that's what our journey of reclaiming our identity through the soil has continued to remind us. Sometimes coming back to yourself begins with changing your environment. But getting here for Wairimu was not easy. Like so many people, she has had her moments when life completely changed course. She lost her job at a time she needed it most, went through financial hardship, and found herself having to start all over again. But instead of allowing those moments to define her, she chose to rebuild one step at a time. And perhaps that's what makes this story so relatable. It reminds us that setbacks don't have to be the end of the road. Sometimes they become the very reason we discover a different path. Wairimu also co-owns a horse riding school. And one of the reasons she got into this space was because she was tired of seeing Africans left out of conversations and opportunities that have always existed on our own land. It's actually a perspective that makes you stop and think about how much we already have and how much more is possible when we choose to see value in our own resources. More than anything, this is a conversation about giving yourself permission to begin again, whether you are 25, 45, 70, or even, I don't know, whichever age. Life doesn't stop offering a second chance. The only question is, are you willing to take that chance? All right, now let's listen into Wairimu's story. And as always, I hope you get inspired as we continue with this series of reclaiming our identity through the soil. Let's listen in.
My name is Wairimu Githuka. Some of my friends call me Wairi. I am now a YouTuber. I run a channel called Wairi's World. What am I? First of all, I am a mother to two incredible kids. I have a 15-year-old daughter and I have a toddler, less than 2 years. Huge age gap. Amazing. I'm a journalist by profession, a print media journalist to be precise. But of course, now I moved into digital media, as soon as I realized print media wasn't quite it. I am an entrepreneur. I run a horse riding school, Zina Horse Riding School in Ridgeways, Nairobi. I also run a vacation rental, right where we are, Whistling Thorns of Pejeta. It's an off-grid vacation rental in Gobit Ward, Laikipia County, very close to the Opejeta Conservancy. So this is where we are right now. Karibuni.
Yeah, we are home. Feels nice to finally catch up and have this conversation. I think from one journalist to another, it's always so good when you meet your tribe. You're like, oh my goodness, this is so good. But I really do want to appreciate you for taking this time and having this conversation with us. And of course, for the warm welcome. And congrats on your YouTube channel. And I think what attracted me to you was when you are so confident about starting over at 45. And I was just going through a couple of your episodes, and there's this episode where you said, what will you be expecting from this channel? A lot of things, but not perfection. That really caught my attention. Why not perfection?
Because if you chase perfection, you're never going to start. And you're never going to build the confidence to start anything. Also, I feel like sometimes we chase perfection because we are looking for admiration, as opposed to living the purpose and living the thing that you want to be. Am I doing it so that people can look at me, or am I doing it because it gives me satisfaction and it makes me happy? So the reason why I'm not chasing perfection is also because I'm just not built that way. I'm happy to laugh at myself most of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When things don't go according to plan.
And most times they won't. They won't. Because you plan. For example, even you arriving here today, there's things I'd set out to do from weeks ago.
Yes.
And you plan, but things happen and they won't go according to what you had planned. And it's okay, because you can spend so much time beating yourself up about it, or you can just roll with the punches, go with the flow. Yeah.
Lovely. And you know, one of the things I'm loving about this year is the theme we are having on the platform. We are reclaiming our identity through the soil. We are paying a lot of attention to people who are doing the slow, intentional and conscious living journey. I mean, I've traveled across the country and I have met incredible people, and now I'm here in this very beautiful space that we are sitting in. First and foremost, what do you think about our theme for this year, and how does that connect to you?
I absolutely love the theme for this year. And I think what I love most about it is because we've glamorized, you know, these huge mansions. We've glamorized living in the city. We've glamorized chasing after materialistic things. And I see the pressure it puts on a lot of people, particularly the young people, the Gen Zs, if I may call them so. There's so much pressure. You have to look a certain way. You have to go to certain parties. You have to go to certain events. You spend so much time on gadgets. You spend so much money on clothes and eating out, and you're still not happy. So when I see something that promotes just me getting back to nature, just being able to go about my business, doing things that I love that are self-sustaining, I mean, that definitely speaks to me. Yes.
And it's definitely speaking to a lot of people, which I think it's one of the best series I've ever done. Like, this series just makes me happy.
I think I've watched each and every episode. That's how much it resonates.
I appreciate that. But let's get deeper, because I always say with these shows, our guests did not just find themselves in these spaces. You did not wake up one day and you found yourself with this beautiful space here in Laikipia, right? So could you walk us through your journey so that we can be able to understand you deeper, so that we get to understand why these choices for you matter the way they do right now?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I get to talk about Laikipia. I love Laikipia very much. How did I end up in Laikipia? So a friend of mine brought me, a fellow journalist. He was a colleague at The Nation. His name is, if I may mention him, Wairimu. And I think someone had brought him here, and he'd come and admired the place. So anything nice he found, he would always introduce me. He was the first person that introduced me to our circle. On my first day at work, at lunchtime, he was like, I'll buy you lunch on one condition. First, you come with me, I'll take you to a place, and then I'll buy you lunch. And that's how I ended up on day one of work, joining a circle. Why am I bringing this circle into the picture? Because anytime you want to own something, finances come into play. There's people who are lucky, they've always had resources in plenty. For some of us, we've had to build very slowly, save consistently, small amounts of money.
Yes.
So now that very same friend who introduced me to the circle, he's the same one who told me there's a place I went to, I've really been admiring it, and land there is very affordable. Not that he hadn't taken me to other places. He'd taken me to Kajiados. I mean, we had been conned. You know, sometimes people sell you a property, but they really have not sold you. They're still holding on to it. So we gave up on Kajiado. It was difficult to get land there. And so he brought me to Laikipia.
Yeah.
It was still this dry, and I fell in love with the place. Now, I couldn't buy land in Laikipia because, remember I told you the circle?
Yes.
I had taken a circle loan to acquire another property closer to Nairobi, and I was paying for that property. Nonetheless, every time he was coming to Laikipia, we would come. I'd be like, one day I'm going to own a piece of land in this place.
Yeah.
And then it happened. I slowly paid my loan. I finished. And now I could take another loan
Yes.
to own the real estate that I wanted. So that's how I ended up in Laikipia.
But why Laikipia, and what is it about Laikipia that made you fall in love? And also the property, what is the size of this property?
Okay. So actually, this was not even the first piece of property I bought in Laikipia.
Okay, girl.
Yes.
All
This
right.
is the third one.
Yeah.
So Laikipia, it's very, people usually ask me, and it's very hard to explain because most people who come here, all they'll see is it's dry. For somebody else, it's desolate. But remember, we all have different ways we perceive or receive things. For me, it was the endless horizons. I mean, you look out, the sunsets, they are just breathtaking. And then, you know, that time at dusk, there's some silhouettes that the trees form. I don't know, it's really like you come and you see it and you love it, or you come here and you'll be like, where the hell is this? Somebody get me out of here. So for me, I fell in love with a lot of things, the landscapes, the horizons, the sunsets, the whistling thorns themselves.
Yes.
You know, everybody, most people don't like them. The first time my mom came here, she was like, if it was me, I would cut all these trees. And I'm looking at her, mortified. First of all, we're not cutting trees. Let's start from there.
Okay.
So it's hard to explain. But for me, the way I see Laikipia and how it makes me feel,
Yes.
some people may get it, some people may not. Yes.
And I also really do appreciate you walking us through the finance part of it. Because, you know, for me, even when I bring conversations on land and I'm working with people who are selling people even a 50 by 100, I think I find joy in that. I know the idea is to get acres or big chunks of land, but I don't think people appreciate how much it takes or how much saving you have to do to even afford a 50 by 100.
Oh, it takes a lot.
Like it takes a lot. I see people saving even for years to afford a 50 by 100. So I acknowledge the finance part is not so easy.
It's a very difficult part. And you know, the other thing I think sometimes we also don't talk about, okay, so you've taken this loan to buy a property and then you've lost your job. And then what happens?
Yes.
When people talk about all these projects that they're doing, I feel like, and that might be their reality.
Yeah.
But then there's people who are in a different reality where things don't come to you so easily and you have to save painstakingly. You have to work so hard. You have to do several side hustles. So for me, when I see someone has bought a property, they've built even a toilet, even a cow shed, I really admire that because it's not everybody. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I have a bit of a scarcity mindset.
I don't think it's scarcity.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
not
think it's
everyone gets
scarcity.
the abundance, you know. A lot of people have that, but not everybody is
Not everybody.
that lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope the people who are watching this and they're in that journey of acquiring even a 50, even if there's a 20 by 20.
Please.
Like me, I vouch for them and I'm like, you go, because I think I saw my mom even struggle to get the 50 by 100. Actually, ours is like 40 by 80. I saw the years she put in to try and just save to get that. So I hope people know that we are also vouching for them, and it's important to also talk about that, right?
Yes.
But that aside, you've bought the land, you've fallen in love with the place. How do you start now building this, and also why go off grid completely?
The going off grid, if I may start by that.
Sure.
The going off grid, of course, was not by choice. But now that I'm here, I don't have any monthly bills, no electricity bill, no water bill. So I enjoy that. But it wasn't by choice. You've driven to this place. You've seen how far and remote it is.
Yes.
We didn't have any electricity at that time. We still don't, but at least now it's closer, but we still don't. In as far as water, you would have to sink a borehole, and the water here is very far. You need to do at least, is it 250 meters? 250 meters. So unless you have the resources again, sinking a borehole is not your first plan
priority.
of action. It's not a priority unless you have the resources. So when I bought, so initially I bought 8 acre piece of land. It's walking distance from here, much more in the wild compared to here. There's literally no people there. I intended to actually build my house there. I do like being far away from, I'm an extrovert, but I do also like to be alone. So I wanted to build there. I came here with my business partner, and to that place. I wanted to show her both pieces of land. So then I told her, okay, so this is where I'm going to build. She looked at me like I'm crazy.
Because it's like, it's wild.
There was nobody, there's no neighbor. And you know, we get elephants that come out. You have leopards that come and eat the goats. We have hyenas.
Feces.
Yes. She's like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
So then when I came, so on the very same day we came here, and then she looked at this. There was a grandmother, you know, rest in peace, she passed on. She lived there. She was like, and then I have another neighbor here. And then so she looked at it and she was like, why don't you build in that space where at least there's people?
You have a community.
You have a community. I was okay just being solo in the bush. But yes, so that's how I ended up here. Now, when I was coming to build this house, so it was COVID. A funny thing, I had just taken a loan to buy a property in Nairobi. And then that same month, I lost my job. And so now I'm there struggling to pay this loan. But then now I have this dream to go and live in Laikipia. Because whenever I would come here, we had no roads. Even that road, the final stretch that you've come on, me and my neighbors, we had to do that for ourselves. So what would happen is that you'd get here. First of all, it took so long to get here. I'd be bringing trees and I would leave home at 6 and I wouldn't get here until maybe midday because there are no roads, so you're moving so slow. And then if it rains, you can't leave.
Yes.
And now I don't even have a mabati structure somewhere where I can sleep. So I'd always wanted to put up a small structure where if it rains, I can say, okay, I'll just get into my mabati room and sleep. And in any case, I want to sleep here. So when I lost my job, so I had some free time, but then I had no money and I was repaying a loan. So I got lucky. Someone got me a small gig. I remember very clearly. It paid me 270,000 shillings. So I called a fundi, a very good fundi I have, and I told him, I have this amount of money, and because I want to just go and stay in Laikipia a bit, so I think we can do a mabati structure. So let's go to Ruiru and look at the cost of things. And then I'll build myself, we'll build a mabati structure. And then now I can just be going to Laikipia, even if I want to go with, that time I had one daughter. If I want to go with my husband and my daughter, we can go and we can just chill in Laikipia in our mabati rooms. I had planned on making 3 rooms, 3 mabati rooms. He says, no problem. So we go to Ruiru. But then now I call my mom. My mom, both my parents are in the quarry business and transport business.
Okay.
So I call my mom and I tell her my plan. I tell her, I'm going to go to Laikipia. I have this little amount of money. I'm going to go to Laikipia and I'm going to build a mabati structure. And then later when I have funds, I can build a permanent house. When I talked to Kamau and we agreed to go to Ruiru, we went to Ruiru. We were going to look at the price of things. Then when we got there, I said, now who is coming back to Ruiru again?
Yes.
To buy things. See, we just buy them. So I bought iron sheets. You know this, I think they call them rejects. We bought iron sheets. I bought a water tank. I even bought a kafani sink. We bought timber. We bought a lot of things. And then I hired transport to take the items to my compound now in Nairobi. In fact, I remember now later that evening, I realized, my husband is about to come home, but there's all these things in the compound. Perhaps I need to call him and tell him, when you come, there will be things. Don't worry. We are building something in Laikipia.
Yes.
So I called him and told him we're building something in Laikipia. Then now I needed to get transport. So I called my mom and I wanted her to give me a truck to bring my things. So she said, you know what? I think one of your dad's trucks is even bigger. Why don't you have your dad give you a truck to transport your things? And then what I can do, I really would wish for you to build a stone house. What you can do is I can give you as much stones as the truck can carry from my quarry. And then you get a proper plan and do things the proper way. Start your foundation the proper way. I'll give you the quarry stones to start your foundation. And then let's see where that goes. Those mabatis that you had bought so many, just let's see where the stones will reach and then you can finish off with my mabati. But I'm praying for you that I'd really want you to build a good structure. And you know moms and how they pray for us. So I came, my dad gave me a truck. My mom gave me the stones. They came. We carried the materials and we came. And that is how we started building a stone house with the intention to finish with iron sheets. And here we are.
Look at you now.
I can't believe it.
God bless our parents.
Indeed. Amen.
May God bless our parents.
So that's how I got here. Yeah.
And now the completion part of it.
The completion. So now we did the foundation, a proper foundation. And then my friend, the same Waina, I'm sure you've just passed by his house. So they were also building, him and another friend, they were building some small houses also in the area. And so they had this person who was bringing for them building materials. I find his name amusing because his name is Kanyari. So I'll never forget his name. So they'd give me Kanyari's number and tell me,
Wairimu.
talk to Kanyari. talk to Kanyari. He's a very good man. He'll bring for you. Because now I've come with stones. But remember, I didn't have sand. I didn't have ballast.
Yes.
You need maram. Talk to Kanyari. So now Kanyari is the one who brought me the materials for building the foundation. So Kanyari has brought me. So now he's like, hey sister, what's your plan here? What's your intention? So I tell him, I have all these iron sheets. So I'm just going to pull up an iron sheet structure. And then later when I have money, we shall finish up the construction. So he looks at me and tells me, but now, and people lie to you, by the way, fundis and these people, they lie to you how it's not going to cost much. And they get you started. So now Kanyari told me the budget will be like 300K. I'll bring you machine cut stones from Darugo. Me and Kanyari and Kamau, my fundi, we went on the side, we did our calculations, we saw it's 300K. So I call my husband. I tell him, so you know my money finished. Now, we've discussed. And, you know, apparently we're only going to need 300K to do a stone wall. Remember, even if we do this mabati structure, we'll have to insulate.
Yes.
I mean, really, honestly, even now when I think about it, it was still going to cost a lot. So I told him, can we just do this thing and we see where it takes us? He says, absolutely. Then he tells me, tell that Kanyari I don't have money. Can he wait for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
This is a person I've just met. I told him, Kanyari, my husband says you can bring us the materials.
In 2 weeks.
No, you can bring the materials now, but we can only pay you in 2 weeks. He says, there's no problem. So Kanyari, who has just met me now, starts bringing me building materials. And so we start consulting. Now, COVID had just started because this was 2020.
Yeah.
COVID had just started. And so remember, VAT was reduced. Now the cost of cement was lower, cost of tiles, most of the materials you were buying was lower. So, and lucky for me, even if I'd lost my job, my husband was still working. So, I would just, even him now, I just kept tricking him. The way I was tricked, I would tell him, now we only need this.
Hey, it never ends.
No, and then he gives me the money. And that is how I continued. I tricked him until we finished. Yes.
So, Kanyari's 300K became how much?
Do we really want to go there?
It's Kanyari after all.
Okay,
But
it's Kanyari.
pun intended.
Kanyari's 300K.
I didn't say that very much. Mimi, I didn't say that. Hi, Kanyari, but
Yes. I must say, though, construction at that time was way cheaper because VAT was reduced and I wasn't getting materials from very far. Of course, transport is always very expensive. One of the things that was very expensive here was water. Water. And sometimes the person who was going to bring for me water would just, and there's no tankers. You're going to fetch water from a public borehole.
Yes.
With a donkey. Eventually, I even I have like a VW Golf. Eventually, because my person kept failing me, I was just with my jerry cans. With my Golf, I would put like 8 jerry cans in the back, in the back seat on the floor where you put your legs. I would put, and then on the passenger side, I'd put like 2. My Golf, even at some point, it failed because I was making it do work that it wasn't meant to do. Yes.
Too heavy.
Too heavy.
Yes.
So I can't exactly mention where we ended up at, but we ended up at somewhere about 4.5 million.
Yes.
That's now without the solar system because the solar system is a whole other cost. Yes.
I can imagine doing this right now.
Oh,
doing this
costs are
right
double.
now cost, I think, even more than double.
Exactly.
'Cause
We were
cement,
lucky.
like right now, cement we are getting at K.
Yes.
Me naangalia cement, I'm like, hey, me, by the way, I'm clapping for everyone who is even building a toilet.
It was 650.
Now even it's a K, and soon it's gonna be more.
It's going to be more.
It's gonna be
Because
more.
it was 650 and that's when now I've bought at Makutano. I don't know if you know where Makutano is. There's a town when you're using the Nyeri Nyahuru.
Yes.
So I would get from Makutano at 650. Yes.
What was the dream for you? Was it to come and live here? And how is that going? And I think one of the reasons also why I really loved your story, it's because it's like you're transitioning, you're juggling a lot. And I feel like that's where so many people are. You are never completely where you really need to be, but you're also really trying to slow and intentional and conscious live the life. But also we can't be blind to the fact that people still need Nairobi or people still need the cities. So what was the goal for you like?
The goal for me was to be in a village, in my own farm. I've always loved to farm since I was a kid. I'm those people, if I see a shamba, I'll start recommending, I want to dig, I want to plant things. That has always been me. So I'd always wanted somewhere where if I want to relax, I can go to. Because remember, relaxation has always cost so much money. I want to relax is, let's go to the coast. That means that you're saving maybe for a year or half a year to be able to take that holiday to the coast. I want to relax is maybe go to Naivasha. So for me, I wanted to give my family a holiday, which, you know, as days go by, every morning I'm not waking up thinking today is another bill. So I wanted to give my family somewhere they can come and relax, but I also wanted to now just start farming, start building the life I'd want for myself, a slower, more relaxed life. Yes.
And you're also very big when it comes to organic. Could you walk us through your farming journey and why you are so intentional when it comes to organic farming?
Yes. So the reason why I'm very much into organic farming is two things. Of course, there's myself and my family. When you see what pesticides are doing to people and also what they're doing to our environment, what they're doing to our animals, the birds, the bees, the butterflies, the beetles, really. And whenever you go to the market, you're never too sure about what you're eating. I mean, think about what is happening right now. The big conversation has been about the elephants that died.
They ate tomatoes.
Yes, they ate tomatoes.
Had
I don't entirely buy the story.
Remember, you don't entirely. I don't buy it at all.
Yes.
I don't buy it.
But I do know for a fact that, for example, now here where I'm at, you know, farmers use herbicides, and so you want to kill the weeds just before the planting season. You will spray a herbicide on your farm, and what you have to do is you have to, because we have a lot of open spaces, and maybe so you haven't fenced your farm, so it's easy for someone's goats or cows to invade and come and eat, or for someone to come and bring them to graze, since it's not closed off. So usually they have to put some ribbons or some paper, something to indicate that I have sprayed this section so that your cows don't come and eat. What's the weight of a cow? So if cows shouldn't eat that grass because it has been sprayed by a herbicide,
why are we eating?
Why am I eating food? No offense to any of my neighbors. And I know, you know, they have to earn a living. And we have to be cognizant of that. And I'll be getting to that part, because you can barely earn a living doing organic farming. So if the cows can't eat that grass, it's not safe for them. Do I want to eat food that has been planted in that same soil? And remember, even as we are growing the food, we still have, instead of weeding, what do we do again? Spray the herbicides. I don't want to be bent over that soil harvesting that food. I don't want to eat it. While I cannot avoid this with the product that I buy in the market, I try to shop organic as much as possible. But you will not always get organic products. So for me, the reason why I went into organic farming is so that I can be able to control that aspect. Now, when it comes to organic farming, so here I grow potatoes, I grow beans, I grow maize, I grow heirloom maize. Because I want to be able to replant the seeds and not have to go and buy seeds every time I want to plant. One of the hardest things to do is organic farming in this area. Labor is extremely expensive. Now, there's sections where I can't dig by tractor because I have my fruit trees in between. So you have to hire someone to dig physically. And then now there's the planting. Immediately you've planted, so you've had the tractor, it has dug the place where someone needs to do the digging, they've done it, they've tilled the land. Now you have planted. Comes the weeds, and they are vicious. Most people will spray the herbicides. I won't spray the herbicides. So I'll have several people doing the weeding. Typically, people here work from 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. to 2. By 2,
They're done.
they're leaving, because they also have their shambas where they also now they leave so that they can go and tend to their shambas. They also have their animals. They have their lives. So I mean, that's how they're able to plan themselves that way. So by the end of the day, and you normally pay 400 bob.
Yes.
Between the planting, weeding twice, the harvesting, it's extremely expensive. But it's a price I'm willing to pay for my family to be able to eat healthier food. That's one aspect. The other aspect is, I told you we've had a bumper honey harvest. We have lots of bees. We have lots of butterflies. For anybody who loves bird watching, this place is teeming with birds. Every other time I spot a new bird species that I had not seen before. One of the things that this pesticides does is that it chases away, the environment becomes unconducive for the bees and the butterflies and the birds, and they tend to leave. After you've monocropped and used pesticides for so long,
There's no life there.
There's no life there. Let me ask you something. Imagine if we didn't have bees, what would happen? Is it something we stop to think about? Because the bees are the pollinators. You have planted your maize.
Yes.
Are you able to go and personally pollinate?
One by one.
You can't.
You can't.
And sometimes we forget that there's other beings, species that need to exist in this world with us. And actually, they help us exist. Without the bees, we'll have no food. But I don't also want to appear judgmental. I've told you, labor costs are very high here. I am speaking honestly from a point of privilege because this is not my livelihood. For somebody else, this is their livelihood. If they are going to pay those 5-10 people to do the tilling, the weeding, they're not going to make any money. So perhaps the question we need to be asking ourselves is, how do we do this? What are our safe alternatives so that farmers like the ones here in Laikipia, in my neighborhood, people who I know personally, they are my community, they are my friends, they are the friends that I have, they are the people who I go to when I have a problem. I do understand where it pinches them because they need to earn a living. What alternatives are we providing for them so that they are not using these herbicides, these chemicals, which are also harmful to their health? What are we offering them?
What are we offering?
Because the government, even ourselves, people who think that we have the resources or we can do the research or we can come up with something, I think it's upon us to also not just point fingers, but say, hey, I think this can work. Yeah.
And that's why I feel like such conversations are necessary. When we are talking about food, our indigenous food, food sovereignty, food security, that is a conversation I'm very passionate about, because I don't believe that this is knowledge we lack. I believe that this is knowledge by design we are being made to forget. And I feel like we really need to be cautious about how our ancestors lived their lives. They existed with the animals, with the bees, with the butterflies. They did no harm and they still lived their lives beautifully. And when you're talking about organic, I'm going through the same thing because I'm doing everything purely organic. I feel for farmers, especially when you do not have a platform, when you do not have a community of people you can sell to, it's not easy. You grow your mboga kienyeji organically, and remember, organic means you have, the way you said, labor is expensive and you have to sell these mboga kienyeji twice the amount the people who are spraying are selling. How many people will afford that? How many people will afford that? But I still have faith because I feel like now people are aware, and I'm glad the elephant thing happened. Even if they are lying to us, they are saying it's tomatoes. I think people now need to ask themselves, if a tomato can kill an elephant, what is it doing to your body? What is it doing to your body? So I would encourage you to keep pushing on. And also we have to be okay sometimes with not commercializing farming too much.
That's true.
Because what we are getting now from the commercial part of it will go to the hospitals, because we will need to go and get treated. I don't know. It's a very sensitive conversation, murky waters, but I feel like people like you and I and the rest of the people out there who are trying to remind people how our ancestors did it, I feel like there is hope at the end of it.
There's definitely hope. And what gives me hope is I think I'll try and get some footage of, or at least some photos of what this place looked like when I came. And it was dry. There were literally no trees. Even the whistling thorns, the ones that easily grow because of overgrazing, even the whistling thorns we didn't have. And the thing is, it's because the land, people came and cut trees and they burnt charcoal. And so it's very easy to blame an area, to blame the place. I can say Laikipia is very hot and very dry and very unforgiving, which if you look even at the ground right now, there's these huge cracks. Can I tell you something funny?
Yes.
We can't plant. We are preparing the land, but we can't plant. You will see there's huge cracks. You put beans or maize there, they disappear into the cracks. We can't plant it. But what gives me hope is I came here and there were no trees. And I remember how painstaking the process was. I'd bring, my trees, and then a friend of mine advised me to use a soil conditioner. So I was using soil conditioner, fertilizer, and manure. And then you have to make sure you water these trees. You almost want to sing for them. And it's like God was just trying to encourage me, because while people here have maybe a 50, 60, sometimes even 70%, even sometimes 100% failure when they are planting trees, I did okay. I was doing 80% even when there was nothing. So, and the trees grew. And when people come now, they can't believe that the trees have grown this tall. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing restoration. That's why I'm not so big on doing major projects. I just want to see what can work, what can't. And so how do you restore? You need to plant as many trees as possible, especially if you can find the indigenous trees, the better, because you want to increase the biodiversity, bring back, species that lived here and had fled for lack of food, for lack of habitat. What I've noticed now is that the side where I have trees, the cracks are smaller. I get better yields. The temperatures have come down. On this side of the house, we had a beautiful view of Mount Kenya. But the winds here, Lynn,
Something else.
we'd be sleeping at night and we'd wake up scared because we thought the roof was being blown off by the wind.
I'm going through
You're
it.
going through that. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you know exactly what to do. So the winds were so strong, extremely strong. In fact, we'd have to keep getting someone to come and nail down the roof. And then the trees slowly started growing. Yes, they've blocked my view of Mount Kenya. But do you know what? I sit outside at night, even during the windiest season, and my roof is not threatening to come off. And the air has calmed down. When I came in, I couldn't plant bananas. I love growing bananas, plantains, sweet bananas. In the next rainy season, I'm now going to start growing bananas, because bananas don't do well in any place with strong winds.
Yes.
But now I've restored the place. The wind is not as strong, and so I'll be able to grow my bananas. Yes.
And good job, man. I feel like your story is going to inspire so many people. The restoration part of it, because there's nothing as as hard as growing kayapple. Unaiangalia for 3 years, you're like, man, I'll just see the results after 3 years. My fruit trees, they're just, me and my partner are just like, guys, is it a mea lini? But there's joy in seeing them come to life, no matter how long they take. Our plantains, we when we put them on the ground, I was like, did we plant them the wrong way? Because nothing is happening. I can't even see any green. Plantain, the sucker is like really dry. So when you put it there, before it starts to blossom, man, we've waited. I think we've waited for 3 months to start seeing, but there is joy in seeing
3 months.
I think, man.
Don't be in a rush. 3 months is a short time.
Yeah.
When we go outside, I will show you, me and you, we will taste my very first oranges from trees I planted 3 years ago.
Yeah.
This place, let me tell you, it teaches you patience. Laikipia teaches you patience. Things grow very slowly. But one thing I can assure you, Lynn, when you finally get your oranges, when you finally get your pixies,
Yes.
they will be the tastiest fruit you have ever eaten.
Amen.
I'm telling you that out of experience because yesterday I ate guavas. I have some beautiful looking lemons.
Yes.
I have limes. Limes have been, harvesting for some time now. The oranges is what excited me. Last time I was here with my daughter, the toddler, she just spotted a pixie. It didn't even look ripe. She picked it out of the tree because the trees are very short.
Yes.
I tasted it. It was so, so sweet because the weather here is conducive. What I can tell you though is that the trees here grow super, super slow. The other thing, plant your trees. Even that kayapple, plant it. You may want to opt for bougainvillea though. It does better because once those trees grow and the wind lessens, you'll find that your crop, whatever you plant, will start to move a little faster. The thing is, because when you've grown food in other places and it moves so fast, now when you plant something in Laikipia and you harvest, I think the excitement gives you such a high. And the other thing about food grown, so I told you I grow potatoes, I do beans, I do maize. Let me first talk about the potatoes. Now you've eaten Nyandarua potatoes.
Yes.
Man, Nyandarua potatoes, you're playing yourself. When you eat potatoes from Laikipia, I think the black cotton soil and the way it gets powdery, it's the potatoes, they don't, hazina majimaji, they're not watery. These are the tastiest potatoes you will ever eat. And I'm saying this because I eat them, number one. Number two, before we moved to the current location, the horse riding stables, we were in another location and I ran a restaurant and I used to get my potatoes from here, from my farm here. And people would always talk about the chips. Laikipia potatoes,
They give good fries.
they give good fries and they give good mukimo and they give good food.
Yes.
I think the soil here, even the beans, the taste is different. It's the soil and I think the heat.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different.
It's good.
And man, I came, I saw you have this much honey.
Yes.
Where do you sell that? Because I'm sure our audience are craving real organic honey.
Actually, most of my neighbors buy my honey. I sell to friends, family, and neighbors. It goes before I can even say I have honey.
Yes.
It goes, but of course, people can always contact me. You can contact me directly on YouTube. You can contact me through my social media. I'm on TikTok, Wairi's World. I'm on Instagram, Wairi's World, and Facebook. Shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to, send some your way.
Yes.
Now, the honey, another one of because I like to do things small. It's that's how, you have to pay school fees. You know that, eh?
That's what, yes, that's true.
Yes, you have to pay school fees. Now, I don't like to pay very high school fees.
Tulipi mob, we can pay that.
Not a lot.
Kidogo.
So I tend to start small with everything I do. So with the apiary, that's the same thing I did. I started small. Kamau, while he was building here, first he built for me, I love contraptions. He built for me 2 contraptions of beehives. I took one to the lower land and one here. And within no time, they were colonized and there was honey. I was like, this is something I can do. And then I contacted somebody else and they got me another 4 beehives. Were they 4 or 6? I don't remember. And then I'm lucky because my neighbor here, he actually is very good with beehives. So he came, he cleaned them up, set them up for me. And so I wanted to see how that goes. Initially, nothing was happening. But now this year, from end of last year and this year, we've had some very good honey harvests. From I think 4 beehives currently. Those are the ones that are colonized. This season, we've harvested around 70 kgs of honey. And one thing about honey, that is actually my most viable product, is the one that I can say is actually giving me money, tangible money, because remember I've talked about the potatoes.
Yes.
You're doing weeding, you're planting. If you don't have the seed, you're buying. Same thing with beans. The beans, this time the rains failed just when we needed them. And so I in fact, I only harvested half a sack of beans after all the resources I had put in. Now, when it comes to honey, I only have my friend John, who is my neighbor here. I normally pay him a percentage of what, when he harvests, he tells me, give me this percentage. And then he maintains the beehives for me. It's really pretty much going and ensuring you're slashing down there. And, just checking, ensuring ants have not gone in.
Yes.
And then I have my packaging, the glass jars, and the labels. That's all the expenses there are. So you're going to at least take home 70% of the income that you got from the honey compared to other things. So honey, apiary is one of the things that I feel that I can confidently now go big on. The rest, slowly, pole. Akuna, you don't have, you see, you have to walk your journey. You have to run your race. Lynn, you've been a YouTuber for how long?
Almost a decade.
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Now for me, I have been a YouTuber for 2 months, less than 2 months actually. Imagine if I decide to run your race. You're in chapter 1000. Me, I'm only on chapter 2.
Yeah.
I'll give myself too much stress. I admire people who are doing big time farming. I admire that very much. But it takes a lot to get to that point. And why am I saying this? I'm saying it for the person who has a small space and they want to grow their mboga in containers. They want to do 2 beds of sukuma wiki, 1 bed of tomatoes, It's great. Don't worry about the person who's growing acres and acres of tomatoes. If that is where you want to go, you will get there someday. In fact, you have to learn you have a lot to learn from that person who's already there. For me, I can only admire you, who is in chapter 1000, maybe chapter 2000, and possibly occasionally ask you, how do I navigate this? But at the end of the day, you walk your journey and I walk my journey.
And the grace is different.
Completely. So I admire people who do big time farming. I hope to get there one day. But for now, this is where we are. And we always start where we are.
As we progress.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Start where you are with what you have and race your own journey. It's your own. Love that. Huh? But talking about now navigating Laikipia in Nairobi, because you're also doing organic farming even back. Hey, it was just so admirable, man. Yeah, you're such a vibe, right?
Thank you.
Because you're also doing that in Nairobi. You are running your horse business. First, horses, Wairimu ranch. Hey, talk to us about that.
Talk to you about horses. What would you like to know about the horses?
Your love
so I'm not just blabbering.
And you're not, I'm just loving everything that is coming out of you. You're just so cool to listen to.
Thanks. Wow. I think by the time we finish this, my head will explode. Because with everything
I don't want to get you there.
It's getting bigger and bigger. God help me shrink the size of the head right now. So the kitchen garden, wow. Like I've said, for me, I love growing things. I always say that if I had a lot of money and so I didn't have to work, what would I do? I would spend my day in the garden tinkering. Yes. I'd just be making cuttings. I'd be doing my seedlings. I'd be admiring this plant, that plant. I would spend my day in the garden. That's my ideal life, by the way. there's people who love to go to shopping malls, and there's people who love handbags, shoes. You'll ask people like, what do you love? Like, what's your favorite shopping place? For me, my favorite shopping place is in a flower bed. Those roadside flower beds. It's my favorite shopping place. Like when I go there, I'm like, God help me not to use all my money, because I can leave all my money there. So gardening is something that just happens for me naturally because I like to do it. And so I'm fortunate enough to have a big enough backyard. And again, because I want to eat good food that is free from chemicals, I decided, apart from planting flowers and having a nice lawn, why don't I grow some food there? Yes. Good. So that's how I started. I fenced it off and started. There were already some bananas there when we came into the place. But from the neighborhood, there's a lady, her name is Josephine Wanjiru. She's actually very big right now. She's just the same topic we are covering right now. She's very big on going back to our roots, Josephine Wanjiru. Yes. So I met her even before I knew that she was all this and more. She's also written a book on the same, and navigating menopause for women, and how they did things traditionally.
Daktari is a friend of the network.
Good. So now she's my neighbor.
She'll be like, well, Lynn, I've been looking for you.
Oh my goodness.
God.
So now we met. I can't remember. No, we met because she had advertised some organic, I think, some organic produce that she was selling, that she has grown just there in her compound. And so I went to buy, and we met. And then now we started exchanging plants, flowers, food, so she gave me this sweet banana suckers. I went and planted, and they did well. And I'm like, I just increased this thing. So I've just been getting different varieties of bananas, different varieties of sweet potatoes, mboga. I just try, it's trial and error with farming, by the way. Sometimes you do something and you fail miserably. It's part of the journey. Yeah. So I met her, and that's how now I really went full on with the kitchen garden. I started focusing more on food and a little less on flowers. I still focus a lot on flowers, but a lot of energy had to go into the food. What gives me so much joy is that my toddler, she loves the shamba as much as I do. In the morning, she's like, let's go to the garden. She even wants to try and take a djembe and dig. I need to get something her size and that is safe. She wants to go and pick the guavas off the tree. She's the first one to spot a sweet banana that's almost ripening. So I love the fact that I'm able to spend time in the garden with her. Yeah.
I love that for you, and thank you for plugging in, Dr. Wanjiru. Like, she's like one of the most influential women we have in this country.
She's amazing.
She is so amazing, and I hope I get to reconnect with her. And guys, you can check out her book on menopause. That woman is doing an amazing job in this country, and we are just so blessed to have her. Indeed. So I'm going to put that on the screen for you, and I know it's Ikonuria. People can get it there. But thank you for also speaking so highly of her. Farasi.
Sasa farasi. Lily is a fairly easy horse. She's not high energy. Sasa, how did a person like me end up with horses? Even me, sometimes I ask myself, how did I end up here? Yeah. It's not what I would call a big story, but it's just, I think, interesting the way it happened. So my business partner, her name is Veronica Mbugua. Yeah. She's a lawyer. Yeah. She's a lawyer. And so at the time that this horse business came about, scratch that. So Veronica does real estate, or she was doing real estate at that time. And I was also working somewhere else. But now me, I'm a salesperson, not by profession. I'm a trained journalist. Yes. But I can sell anything. So I was helping Veronica sell her real estate. And at that time, she had this project in Kitengela. And so Veronica says to me that there's a gentleman who trains my children on horse riding, and he really wanted to see me.
Yeah.
And I know we don't have time and we're going to Kitengela, and he really wants to see me. Do you mind if he rides with us and he can talk to me? Tell me what he wanted to tell me while on our way to Kitengela. I was going to do some videos to market this property. I said, why not? Let him come. And so the gentleman came with us. So we are going, and he starts telling Veronica, oh, you know, now there's this lady who is talking to me, and she wanted me to help her set up a horse riding business here in Nairobi. I'll do everything because I already know everything, and then she will give me a 2% share in the business. Lynn, I'm the one who was driving. I laughed until I had to pull over because now, so I'm like, so this company that you two are starting, which is giving you 2%, is it Safaricom or some big multinational? Because even now, if I give you 2% shares in my business, you're not going to take anything home. It's really not that big. 2% is
not that much.
And then, you know, I got thinking about we Kenyans. We have a lot of resources. A lot. Kenya is a beautiful country. It's endowed. We have a lot. And then the people, we are smart. I believe there's absolutely nothing we can't do. Not to sound too judgmental again, but we Kenyans, we also have this habit where we just let things sit. Other people come and see the opportunity.
Thank you.
And I don't blame those people. I don't blame those people. Kenyans were like this. I give this example of, say, you know, when you go to the village, there's children sometimes who are very hungry. And so kids from Nairobi come, they've been put for food. They're dancing around the food, playing around the food, not eating. The kid in the village, not that they are not given food, but for them, there's no food everywhere they turn. So this child eats their food, they finish. After some time, akipiga lap, spots the food that somebody chose not to eat, they eat it. And then the kid from Nairobi starts crying, oh, he ate my food. No, you didn't want the food, so it was eaten. So this person who wanted to come and start a horse riding school, they are not Kenyan. I have nothing against people who are not Kenyan. I admire. Even I will be in another country taking an opportunity. I will take an opportunity. If it shows up, I will grab it. So I'm not saying anything against people who come. Yeah, let them come and grab the opportunities, because why are we not grabbing the opportunities? So I said to my business partner, and I said to this gentleman, you know, we Kenyans, why is somebody else coming from outside to start a horse riding? Kwani, what is this horse riding business? Why is it such a big deal that only a foreigner can do it? Why can't we do it? Then Veronica already had horses. Her children were doing horse riding. She had 2 ponies. This gentleman knew a lot
About horses.
about horses. He can train horses. He can train people how to ride horses. I can sell anything.
Yes.
And I said, well, you have horses. You know everything about horses.
And
I can
I'm
sell
here.
anything. So let's start a horse riding business. And that is how the idea was born. And by the next day, we'd found the name. We had done a search and we registered. And that is how we started a horse riding business in Nairobi.
Oh, beautiful. I love the challenge. I love the challenge. I keep telling people these resources are ours.
They are.
They are ours, man. And it just takes us believing in ourselves and collaborating to be able to achieve this milestone that now you are achieving with the Horse Training Academy. Like, I feel like this is what we need to punch in our heads, man. Me, when the same way, I don't blame when foreigners or people come and they see opportunities and they grab. I don't blame them when they are told you're the only one who can do good roads.
Because aren't there Kenyans outside there also doing amazing things and being recognized for them? I think there's enough room for all of us. The only problem I have is when you come say and displace people. Remember, there's people who have an advantage, an unfair advantage. We have to be cognizant of that too. Yes, we Kenyans need to grab the opportunities, but I also think that we should not allow people with unfair advantage to come and walk all over us. Yes.
Thank you for that, Wairimu.
Yes.
That is like my biggest take home, like right now. And I love that we may address direct. These resources are ours. We can form communities. You can collaborate. You can go into partnership with another Kenyan. And we can, when they tell us, not because I don't want to speak about even conservancies or whatever. When they say, this person is the only person who can help you conserve.
How?
You know, that topic is always so emotive.
It's very emotive.
Yeah.
And Makiu, the person who is being tasked with conserving, they're the ones also doing monocropping.
Thank you.
And spraying pesticides from the air because they have such huge acreage of the same crop.
I feel you.
So what conservation are we doing?
Yes.
If we're at the same time destroying the environment, you're conserving what the pastoralist lived in harmony with.
And the irony of needing 100,000 acres to conserve 2 elephants. Man, that topic is always so emotive. So I'm going to address it next time. But you feel me, like...
I feel you. I love animals. I want our animals to be protected.
Yes.
And I know there's a place for conservancies. I'll be the first one to take to the street if you try and take Nairobi National Park. There's a place because I know human-wildlife conflict is real. Lynn, there's times we've had to escort elephants out of here. Elephants come even to my water tanks. You will plant maize and they'll come and eat the entire harvest. So I do understand. And we are the ones that have come into the elephant corridor, but we want to plant crop and expect elephants not to eat them. I'm very cognizant of that fact. So I do understand the need for conservation. And I do understand that by having the conservancy, you may also be able to protect me from, even protect my crop. There's people who here, this is their livelihood. And when the elephants come,
they destroy
that person, their entire crop is gone. How will they pay school fees? How will they feed themselves and their family? So there's definitely a line. And it's those lines that we need to be very careful with. Because on one hand, don't be telling me you're conserving. I appreciate the conserving. I appreciate the conservation. But there's some underhanded deals.
In short, you're mining, but moving on. Yes. I know we are about to wind up on the host part, but I know a lot of our audience would also love to bring their kids there, train their kids, even adults. People would love to come and get the experience. Could you walk us through that, and also where is it located and the fun in it?
The fun in it, the fun in horses. I love animals. I love dogs.
Yes.
And then I love horses. Those two animals, dogs and horses, they are so intelligent. But there's something about horses. Sometimes I go to the stables not to ride, just to sit and look at people riding, just going round and round and up and down. So we are located in Ridgeways in Nairobi off Kiambu Road. And one of the biggest reasons also we wanted to start a horse riding school. For me, I wanted a place where Kenyans can come to and they feel they belong. We welcome everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. But sometimes when you go to a horse riding stable, you can feel some type of way.
You can feel left out.
You can feel left out.
Yeah.
I wanted a place where everybody, no matter your nationality, I wanted you to just feel welcome. The thing with Zina Horse Riding School is that from the minute you walk in, the way you will be received, whether it's your first time, whether you have never seen or touched a horse before, you don't need any kind of experience. just come. We are happy to welcome you just the way you are. We are very, very welcoming. Yes.
Thank you for that, and for making Kenyans feel like, there's a place here. And I also feel like people, even us as Africans, I don't know, horses, I don't know why sometimes we fear that area. We think it's too posh. I was interviewing Marwa the other day, and he really encouraged me, and he was like, Lynn, this is also a very good business venture for Africans. And I love that people like you and people like Marwa, you've already gone ahead and you are now actioning on it. And it's a good thing for us to feel, to be included in such things, because again, ni horses, mbona tunaziogopa?
Exactly.
Si ni farasi.
Do you think that sometimes we also exclude ourselves because of the expectations and the stories we tell ourselves?
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to.
And the world hasn't done a good job making us feel excluded, because you see it and it's like luxury. But now we have people like you who are breaking those stereotypes, demystifying those myths. So I think for me, I loved that idea of you even having a say when it comes to horses and making Africans or even Kenyans or people of our color feel included in that, which is really good. So me, I will visit. I will come and try. Honestly, the dream is to ride a horse.
The dream is
and
to ride a
own
horse.
too. Yes.
And to own.
And to own too. Like to own too in the farm and just look at. They are so pretty to look at.
They are beautiful.
They are
And if you already know
beautiful.
how to ride, the better, because you can, now you go inspecting your crop on horseback.
Why mimi mutaniweza? I'll be like with my boots, with my hamtaniona.
Hatutakushika, utakuwa ukishikika.
No, mwezi nishika. Mimi
horses are indeed amazing. They are amazing. I love the way they can feel you. They can feel your emotions. They can tell how you are. Are you nervous? Are you comfortable? Are you confident? But you also have to be a very good person and a very loving person to the horse. A horse
can sense.
Just like the way dogs will run to you because they already know you and they love you. They know you feed them, you pat them, you play with them, you spend time with them. People don't realize that animals also need attention and time. Do you know even cows? Like one of my friends here who works with me, her name is Anne, and she's the one who takes care of this place while I'm away. She has a cow called Ngugi. I love Ngugi. Ngugi, you go close. Ngugi loves pets. Ngugi will not eat my flowers. Ngugi is so well socialized. So if you're dealing with animals, please take the time to know your animals. Whether it's dogs, whether it's horses, whether it's cows, even the rabbits, even the chickens. Are you just doing commercial, or are you really honestly, genuinely immersing yourself in what you're doing? When you deal with animals, just take them in. Spend some time with them. Know them by name. Don't just take their milk and their meat and you're not taking the time to know them.
No.
Take the time to know your animals.
To know your animals.
Yeah.
Lovely. Wairimu, you said you can always start at whichever age you're in. For you, when you say you are starting over at 45, what does that mean?
It's I think for me, it's a really deep story. As you can see, the age gap in my children is very big. And sometimes we can lose hope. Say you've been running a certain business for a very long time and you're not seeing the end in sight. Or there's something you've always wanted, but you keep hitting a dead end. And then one thing happens. It could be completely unrelated. That one thing happens, and for you, you see an opening to, wow, I can do this. I can run this business. I can learn how to ride. I can ride a bicycle. Heck, you can even fly an aeroplane if you want, because what is stopping you? So for me, I had a baby at 44, and I was like, Because people, you know, the internet is very vicious, especially to women. Everyone will have an opinion about a woman's body. Everyone will have an opinion about what women can and they can't do. And let me tell you, they love to bash older women. They love to bash older women. And so for me, I decided I'm going to be very unapologetic. A, about being a woman. 2, about being a woman who makes decisions.
Yes.
3, about being a woman who walks her journey. I don't need to seek approval. I don't need the world to tell me, okay, you're 45, but we've excused you, we've given you permission, you can do it. No. I'm responsible for giving myself permission. So for me, I felt like it was a rebirth. I've had this child, and it's like my life, my journey is just beginning, and it gave me permission to start so many other things that I was starting to feel that now I should be slowing down. No, but you've just had a baby, it's a newborn. What do you mean you're slowing down? You're starting. I'm starting over with the diapers. I'm starting over with the night feeds. I'm starting over with chasing this toddler across the street. The energy is there. Why not? And I have time. I have an entire life ahead of me. What will I be doing with all this time? What will I be doing? See, I learn new things. See, I start new projects. Yeah.
And look at you now.
Look at me now.
Like a true testimony. There's no limit.
There's
You
none.
can start any day, any time. I just love what you've said. You're the one who gives yourself permission.
Yes.
Jipatie ruhusa.
Jipatie ruhusa. Stop waiting. And especially at this age of the internet, stop listening to the noise. By the way, even after this airs, there will be someone who will have an opinion about what I said, and they are going to derive something negative out of it. And it's okay. I also give them permission to do that. It's okay, but I can't live my life caged by what people will say, what the internet will say. Then I'm never going to live. And I'm going to continue being on the internet because I make my money on the internet. I'm not leaving the internet anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
No. What are some of the things people can expect from your channel? Because I want to send our people there. I have a beautiful community here at Lynn.
Oh my
They are
God.
incredible. Man, guys, if
They
I don't
are.
tell you enough,
I am a
love
big part
you
of your
guys.
community.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
What can they expect from that beautiful platform?
That beautiful platform,
Yeah.
Wairi's World. First of all, don't expect perfection.
Yes.
Don't. Learning is not linear. So, I'm starting something, some things will fail, some will take off and they'll do well. So expect to go on a journey where I learn a lot of things. I learn new things for the first time at this age at 45. I'm going to be 46 in 2 months' time. So
Happy early birthday.
thank you.
Yeah.
So expect to learn horse riding with me. Expect to learn how to cycle. Expect to meet my kids, the 15-year-old and the toddler. Expect to see Zina Horse Riding School and how we run it. Expect to see Whistling Thorns Olpegeta.
Yes.
Expect to see a lot of my kitchen garden, what works, the epic fails I also get with my kitchen garden. Expect to see me farm at Whistling Thorns or Pejeta. I'm hoping to now start doing plantain and sweet banana here in Laikipia because I think I've mastered the wind. Expect a bit of travel as well because this beautiful country of ours, Lynn, we need to show the world what we have. So there will be a bit of travel as well.
And I'm here for all of it. I was happy to see you learning to ride a bicycle for the very first time. Yani, you're that girl. You're that girl. Like, you're that girl, man.
Learning how to ride a bike was hard.
Really?
Oh my God, it was hard.
But you see, you did it.
I eventually did it. I eventually did it. I had a very patient teacher, my 15-year-old daughter.
Yeah, so your daughter there, like, well,
Yes.
that was nice. You gave yourself permission to learn, and you did it.
And to laugh at myself.
Yes.
Yes.
Because no perfection here.
No perfection.
No just life.
Just life. Just learning. Learning is not linear. It undulates. There's ups and down. Today, you can end the day on a high. Tomorrow,
everything comes crashing
down. Comes crashing. What do? You pick yourself up and you continue.
Yeah. What are the 3 principles you live by?
Number 1, authenticity. I think it's very important to be true to yourself. Why do I say this? Because I know I'm not going to experience true happiness if I'm comparing myself to somebody else. And because if I'm comparing myself to somebody else, that means I'll constantly trying to mimic them, copy them, and not emulate. There's a difference. Lynn, there's things I will emulate from you because I know the journey I'm taking, I'll also learn a lot from you. Yeah. But that does not mean I become Lynn Ngugi. Yes. There's only one Lynn Ngugi. I'm simply Wairimu. Yes. So being at peace with myself, knowing that this is who I am. I have some negative aspects, some negative characteristics, but then I also believe that I have a lot of positive aspects. I'm a kind-hearted person. I love people. I love to meet people. In fact, sometimes I think I'm so extroverted. When I meet introverts, I have to minimize myself a bit so that I don't overwhelm them. Yes. Yes. So, but I can then also stop being myself because now I'm with an introvert. That huyo introvert ajue venye ataishi na mimi.
Don't say that, please. No. Don't say that. We suffer.
Introverts mtahamia wapi? Where will you move to?
No, but you can't stop yourself.
Do you get overwhelmed when we talk a lot?
No, not really. I think the grace is there. But then after here.
Grace. You need to go sit by yourself in a corner.
But I feel you because that's who I am and that's who you are.
Exactly. So that, one of the principles, authenticity. Number 2, be considerate. Think about others. Don't be a selfish person. We all have to live on this earth together.
Yes.
All of us. Accommodate. Things don't always have to go your way, but you also don't always have to be the person giving up your bit. Let's find a balance. It's important. Yes. Don't be too giving that you're losing yourself, but also don't be too accommodating, but also don't be too selfish. Yes. Find a balance because life is a give and take. We give and take, give and take. Number 3, there's one very big room in this world. It's called improvement. Start something new. Start that one thing you've always wanted to do because you have all the time and all the room to improve. Don't worry about people judging you. And I'm not saying that because I don't worry a bit about people judging me. I didn't want to learn how to ride a bike outside on the pavement in the streets where neighbors would see me. Yes. Of course it matters. I want to come out when now I can. Yeah. And it's okay, but don't limit yourself. Start something new. You have room to improve. There's that principle of 1,000 hours. By the time you've done 1,000 hours at something, believe me, even if you had no talent,
you become a pro.
Yes, because if you and I right now, we're learning basketball.
Yes.
And let's say you have the talent and I don't, but you already have the talent. I consistently go to practice, but you already have the talent, so you slack.
Yes.
I could emerge better than you.
I will emerge better than you. I will actually. Yes. And it's a proven fact.
It is.
It's a proven fact. That's why I tell people, it doesn't matter. You know, people will be like, I'm not born with it. I wasn't born knowing how to... Who was born knowing how to ride a bicycle?
We weren't. I look at my parents. I wasn't born in a family with a lot of resources. I've watched my parents work so diligently. My mother used to sell githeri and bread in the quarry while running for my father the quarry, so he can go and do his long distance truck driver job. He was a driver for a company. So for you to get to a point where if you have the resources, it means that you have to go to that job or go to that business consistently and save consistently and look at what are the money principles that I am going to abide by so that I can get there. A lot of people are not born lucky. The Michael Jordans, who are the people that we can mention?
The Wairimus, the Lynn Ngugis.
The Lynn Ngugis.
Yes.
The people that we see at the top. It took hours. And I think, especially when I watch the farming shows, and you're seeing this huge success, but I want someone to tell me that, let me tell you, my first 1 year.
I'm bringing those ones next.
It's important, so we stop coming into it with such high expectations because that's how we end up giving up so fast. Because if this person made their millions from onion farming
Even
in
me.
1 year,
Even me I can make, and then kina kuramba.
then I give up just because someone didn't give me the reality. Yes.
Good. Love that. And I honestly have loved having this conversation with you. For some reason, it's just been so beautiful. It's just been so beautiful. I leave this place with so much joy. I feel like I was catching up with a friend from long time ago. Like I came here to ask Wairimu, so life imekuwa aje? Like, you know, I feel like I live here a very happy girl. And I have honestly learned a lot from you. My take-homes are so many from you, and I know you've done this also to so many people who are watching, right? And
I hope so.
Yeah, obviously, I know you've done this for our audience. There are so many take-homes from your story. I know we've not even covered a lot, but I feel like this is what we came here for. You've spoken so passionately about the food that we eat, spoken so passionately about us taking risks. I mean, I was just listening to you during your loan journey, talking about how you had these loans, and that's where some of us are. That's where some of the people who will be watching this are. And I just know by watching you, knowing you never gave up, that gives them hope. So I really do appreciate the transparency and the honesty, you know, the authenticity. But obviously when you're not here, this place is open to people. Why did you decide to open it up to the public?
I wanted people to experience what I experience. They may not see Laikipia in the same lens that I see it, but one thing I know is that everybody that has come here has talked about the peace and tranquility and the calmness. They talk about the calmness. And when people come, they don't want to leave. The reason why I wanted to open it to other people, of course, I mean, if I'm not using the place, why is it sitting here empty? I'd like for somebody else to enjoy it. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind the extra income. It would come in handy. We always need money to pump into the projects that we are doing. So that is the other reason. Yes.
I realize we didn't tell people the size. It's a 3-bedroom.
It's a 3-bedroom. So there's 3 bedrooms, master and suite. And then there's the 2 bedrooms share a shower and a toilet. And then there's another toilet outside for people. Occasionally you might come a very big group, like when I come here with my family, with my siblings and their children. Some of us sleep outside in the tents, and so there's a nice toilet and shower out there that people who are staying outside can use.
Yes, good.
And then the kitchen, because this place is very far, you can imagine you come here and then you forget to bring salt or tea leaves. So what I normally
Especially
do,
salt.
especially salt. Especially salt.
Especially salt.
Eating saltless
Tea leaves,
food.
it's okay. Salt.
Imagine something we don't even. There's sugar you can do without.
Salt.
Yes.
Chumvi.
Yeah, pana.
You know.
So what I normally do, in the kitchen, I leave all those condiments. I leave spices in there so that in case you forget to bring something, it's still provided.
Yeah,
for. Yes.
it's najua story ya chumvi tumeipitia. Me and my team.
It's for real.
It was late, by the way, and the places were closed, and we had everything apart from salt. We had to pass by Java, Nakuru, to borrow salt.
But at least you didn't realize you don't have salt when you're already at the place.
Now you can imagine if we were at the place. So,
Yes.
It's a very beautiful place.
Thank you.
How are the rates like off-peak and peak season?
I don't have off-peak and peak season.
Okay, it's general.
Yes, we charge a flat rate of 20,000 shillings
Per night.
per night.
Okay.
Yes.
It's worth it.
Thank you.
It's worth it.
Thank you,
And
thank you. So you come here, you come with your family, or if you're a group of friends, you're looking to just have some time away as a group. Yes.
Okay. What are some of the excursions people can do around here?
Okay, so just a few meters from here, we have a gate into Olpejeta, although it's not really open to the public. They've occasionally, once or twice, they've opened for me. That gate was put there so that when the elephants come out and we call them, they're quickly able to use it to access and just send the elephants back into into Olpejeta Conservancy.
Okay.
But so you can go for a game drive into Olpejeta or Solio Ranch. I'm sure you passed it when you came here, depending on what route you used. You can do amazing walks or bike trails around the village here. It's very beautiful. This is one of the safest places you will ever be in. You can even sleep outside at night. Really, nobody will bother you. There's some caves close by, but usually I have to organize now a guide to take you. And basically, you can have nyama choma. We have a big grill.
Yes.
I would arrange for someone to come and help you with the slaughtering and the roasting. I have friends here who already are doing goat farming. The goats are in plenty.
Na nitamu.
Sana. So what else can you do? The walks. You can bring your bikes and go on bike rides. Yes.
And you can also chill. I saw a very nice chilling spot
outside
here.
On the veranda.
That is really
absolutely.
good. That is beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Shall we wrap this up?
Yes.
Siski kukuachilia, but I have
Hata mimi
to. Yes.
kukuachilia.
I know.
Can I say something to you?
Oh, yes.
To admire someone for so long and to follow someone's journey for so long. From the day when you started at Tuko, interviewing people, and then, just also now when you left Tuko and you started as Lynn Ngugi, to follow you, interview people as they bring, their stories. And some of those stories were very personal and very heavy. And how I watched you navigate that and, even a lot of times get help for them. Go beyond telling the story. I've always really admired that. And of course, I've continued to follow you, even as you've taken this journey, in something that I'm so passionate about. Now I became locked in.
Yes.
To see you here today, for me, it's a testament. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I really admire you. And I feel like I've just been chatting with a friend. I've been fangirling for so long. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy and so excited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I take it all. I appreciate that. And I really do value people like you who have been so patient with me as I navigate this journey. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm like, Lynn, are you crazy? Sometimes even when I voice some of the things, I'm like, okay, girl, where are you going now with this? But I'm just so passionate about everything I do and touch, and just to know you're among the people in our 1.53 million subscribers who understand this journey. I really do appreciate you. And once again, you are so cool to talk to. And I hope this is not the last time we get to interact.
It better not be.
It won't be. Mi unanipata kwa farasi. I told you this is not the last time. And you've really inspired me in so many ways. And I know you've done this, as I said to our audience, you've inspired them. And thank you for being very transparent, vulnerable, and amazing with us on this show.
Thank you,
man.
Can't believe I'm here. And thank you so much for watching up to this point. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited that you get to see me through Lynn Ngugi.
Yes.
I can't wait for you to now continue following my journey on Wairi's World.
Yes.
If there's something you want to ask, if there's something, you know, maybe there's something you've seen that I do and you would like to try and you do not know where to begin, if you'd like to visit Whistling Thorns or Pejeta, if you'd like to come to Zina Horse Riding School in Ridgeways for horse riding lessons or just a day of fun, you can reach me on 0786 48 55 38, or you can send me an email at wairisworld@gmail.com.
Good. Thank you, Wairimu. Thank you guys for just sitting with us for almost 1 hour, 30 minutes, listening to our convo here. It's been good. I know you guys, you are vibing with it. And that's the best part about this series. We get to meet incredible people who have gone ahead of us and they are sharing their experiences. And I really do hope that you have taken something from this conversation. Always interested with your take homes. I keep saying when you see the love emojis, the replies on the comment section, that is me connecting with you, and I can't wait to see what your take home has been from today's conversation. So few things, go check out Wairimu. Guys, let her know we have arrived. Go to her YouTube channel and do what we do with our amazing guests on the platform. Go subscribe and press on that notification bell so that when she puts something, you guys can be able to watch or you can be notified. Go show her some love, and I've really loved being here, and I know I'll bring a lot of stories of people who have gone through this journey. As you can see, there's always a story to everyone's journey, and I can't wait to bring you more and more. And if you're watching there at home and you're like, okay, Lynn, I also have a story that I want to share, you know what to do. We have our emails, info@lnn.digital or lynn.ngugi@lnn.digital. Send me a brief of your story. Me and EJ, we will look at it, and I hope our producer Edwin, I've made you proud with this one, Cindy. Yes, so me and EJ will look at it, and who knows, we could be coming to you next and documenting your journey. That said, we did mention Dr. Wanjiru. She is an incredible woman. Just a reminder, she has an amazing book. This is not an ad, but if you want to grab a copy of her book, it's showing on your screen. I know they've stocked it at Nuria. Go and do that as well. What else? Yeah. Anyone that is looking to own a piece of land, we have amazing partners on the platform. That is Hekalu Properties. They do have land in Nanyuki and Konza. You guys, you've almost bought the whole property in Nanyuki. Yes, we are gonna form an amazing community. So check out their properties also in Konza. But if you also want to continue checking, there's Yaval. Yaval, they have great properties also in Nanyuki, 5 minutes from our farm. So come, let's build a community together. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Let's continue reclaiming our identity through the soil. And I hope through Wairimu's story, you can see how great our resources are. And I keep saying, tusicheze na hizi vitu, guys. Tusicheze na hizi vitu. And I'm wishing you all the best, no matter where you are in your journey. Sawa. Kudos to my team for always coming through. I know Muga is like, Lynn, tunakule ugali sangapi. So guys, let me not waste much of Muga's time. Let's just go to Sisi Tukule. We have a good time, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.